So guys, today back for another video on the channel. Today we have the Newcastle United vs Wolves preview. It is a massive one for both clubs. Both teams are fighting for Europe. It is massive for both of us. It is going to be a good game at St James's Park. I hope so. Newcastle haven't won a game at St James's Park in 2024. We need to turn that round. Wolves are on very good form. It's going to be an interesting game, and normally when we do play Wolves it normally ends in a 1-1 draw or a draw in general, so we hope it will not be a draw. If you could leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would mean a lot if you could do so. Anyways lads, let's get to now. We'll start off by looking at Wolves, speak about Newcastle, speak a little bit more about that Blackburn game, and then we'll end off the preview there. So then, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've been on good form at the minute. Everyone wrote them off at the start of the season, and I was one of them. Everyone thought Wolves are going to struggle, and they've got Gary O'Neill, and everyone, I wouldn't say slated him, but were a bit like, right, he kept Bournemouth up. Can he do a bigger challenge at Wolves? And he's taken it by storm. I'm really happy with what he's done. They're sitting 9th in the league, above Newcastle, and with more points than Newcastle. Just shows. They had a poor start of the season as well, where they couldn't get their feet going, and a lot of VAR decisions were not going their way. They're doing really well, and I don't think it's getting spoken about enough. To 7th, they're 1 point behind. To 6th, they're only 6 points behind Man United. Man United have been in good form this year, but how can happen? How can change? Anything can happen. I want to state now, when recording this, it is half time in Wolves' game in the FA Cup. It is currently 1-0 to Wolves. Obviously, anything can happen in football. Against Brighton, anything can happen. But if they win this game, they play Coventry at home, which is even bigger and better for them. If they get Coventry at home, and then, well, if they win this game, beat Coventry, they're back at Wembley, where they were last at the 18-19 season. They probably their best season of recent years, where they unfortunately got beat to Watford at a time. But Wolves have done extremely well, and I don't think it's getting spoken about. We'll go through their squad now that is currently playing against Brighton, and go through their teams. In goal, Jose Sá. I think he's a quite underrated keeper. He doesn't keep the most clean sheets you'd want, but he does what you need to do, and he is a good keeper. Defensively, I really like the defence. I mean, Gomez against us when we played at the Molineux earlier on in October, he was extremely good. Breno, the Uruguayan, I haven't really seen much of him. Max Kelman's an underrated player in my opinion. I think he's really good. I think he's Wolves born and bred, and he's a bit like a Lewis Dunk at Brighton, but he is very good. On the wing backs, Norrie done really well against Sheffield United, got loads of FPL points for people. Matt Doherty obviously returned to the club, he's doing quite good. Gomez and Lemina in the midfield, that is two very good midfielders. Two I'd take at Newcastle, to be honest. Lemina's a player who, over the years at Juventus, went to Southampton, and he's found his feet at Wolves, and he looks really good. Scored some really important goals for them. And then Tommy Doyle, obviously he is probably Anthony Gordon's best friend in football. He'll have a little bit of a link up with him in the game. And then Hangi Chan up top, he's very good. Obviously there were scares about him being injured. Obviously Cunha should still be injured for the game, which is a big bonus for Newcastle. But if you look at their bench, it's a strong bench. They've got Sarabia, who's played in recent weeks, he's doing really well. Pedro Neto is a baller, by the way. Traore, the midfielder, he's up and coming. You've got Semedo, Breno, Craig Dawson. They've got a good team, and what's to say Wolves can't get to St James's Park and win, and then continue their good season? Because honestly, throughout the season, they've really struggled with VAR, and it was an absolute disgrace. Gary O'Neill had something to say every week. He didn't want to sit here and say it, but he had to, because it was the way it was going, which is such a shame for them. Because if it's Newcastle, I'd be fuming, I'd be livid some of the decisions that didn't go their way. But you look at the form they're on. Yes, they did lose 2-0 to Brentford and 4-3 to Man United, but some very good form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, and if they beat Brighton tonight, 13 matches and only losing 2 to Brentford and Man United, looking very good away from home. It is going to be a tough game. It really is. I think Gary O'Neill, the way he sets up his team is magnificent. They're absolute workhorses, and Newcastle will struggle. If they struggle against Blackburn and then Luton and Bournemouth, Wolves could do some damage. They really could. They've got I am impressed by Wolves. I really am. I think, I'm not sure, I can't remember my Premier League predictions, but I'm sure I put them to go down, which is going to look ridiculously bad at the end of the season if they carry on the way they're playing and potentially go to Wembley. But Newcastle United have got a big ask on their hands, and can they do it on Saturday? So then Newcastle United, obviously we've just played Blackburn Rovers in the Cup. Our league form has been hit and miss. We've beat Forest in recent weeks, but at home we've struggled. At home this year, we've got beat to Man City, drew to Luton, which felt like a loss, and then against Bournemouth, very extremely lucky to even pick up a point. What's going on? At home over the last 2 years, prior to 2024, we only lost to 3 teams at St James's Park: Arsenal, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. What's happened? What's happened? And even the performance against Blackburn, we were second best in every single department on that pitch, top to bottom, apart from the goalkeepers who were both fantastic on the day. Defensively, in the midfield, trying to score the goals, we were second best in everything, and that's scary considering Blackburn are down at the bottom of the Championship, just above the relegation zone, and it could go down. Everyone knows what the Championship's like, and the fact that Newcastle went there and really struggled is a bit concerning. But yet again, we've also got time to bounce back. Eddie Howe said the performance wasn't quite there against Blackburn due to the Arsenal match and obviously being in quick succession, which is a little bit understandable. You've got an away game on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, which I think is a joke, and then you've got Sunday, Monday, and you're back on it at Tuesday. But we're through, we went through, and obviously we have got Man City in the next round, which is a bit of a shame, but nothing we can do as fans. We've got to just support the lads and hope we can go to the Etihad and win. On this game though, on Saturday, Newcastle haven't been at home in a couple of weeks. We've got to win. It's as simple as that. If we want any sort of chance of getting 7th, because I think 6 is even off the cards. If we want to try and get 7th and take over Brighton, it's going to be a big ask. You've got Brighton on good, well, Brighton who are a good team. You've got West Ham and Wolves, and then Chelsea are creeping. Any of them teams can get 7th, and if Newcastle don't book their ideas up, the season will be over. Next thing you know, by the end of March, going into March obviously this month, when this game happens, Newcastle could be season done, could be no sort of anything. We could be just getting mid-table, which is shit, and then we could be out the FA Cup, which is a real possibility. We need to bounce, and we need to bounce quickly, and I think changes need to be made to the team. You can't be playing players who are playing shit, right? You can't. And we've finally got players, but the only players who are injured for this game coming up are Joe Linton, Nick Pope and Target. I think that's it. Everyone's fit and everyone's played. There's no excuse. Oh, and Callum Wilson just fought there. Newcastle have got to give a performance. We beat Wolves last year around the same time of the season in March. We've got to go there. We've got to go to St James's Park and win. It's as simple as that. There's no if, buts or maybes. Absolute. Newcastle have got to win. Prediction, as I always do in the previews, will Newcastle United turn around and pick up 3 points? It will be massive. It'll keep it up. If we pick up 3 points, we'll put on the 40 points and we can't get relegated. Fucking remember them days. Newcastle normally draw 1-1 at Wolves, and the way it's going at the minute, and if they do beat Brighton tonight, I think a 1-1 might not be the best. I mean, it might not be the worst result in the world, so I'll go for 1-1 Newcastle and Wolves at St James's on Saturday. There we go, boys. That is the end of the preview for our massive one at St James's Park on Saturday. 3 PM kick-off. Newcastle United have got to win. It's as simple as that. If we want any chance of getting top 7, we've got to win this game. You've got to beat the teams that are around you, and if you do, you get rewarded for it. Make sure to leave a like, post, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all for the predicted team tomorrow and then the game on Saturday. How are the lads?